Okay, today is not really the best lighting. There's like some clouds, and with the window being up high, it just like looks really dark in here. But I have to leave for work in like 20 minutes, so we gotta make it happen. Today is personal development series number 21. I haven't really written anything out, but I've been thinking about what I want to talk about since like 24 hours ago. So, it may be a little scatterbrained, but I know what I'm going over. So today's just talking about some things that I'm doing differently, and yeah, I guess it's kind of a few things that I'm doing differently. They're just in like different categories. Sorry, Edgar's right behind me and he was hitting me with his tail, and I was trying to figure out what that was. So a couple of things. This week there was not a movie reactions video. It was supposed to be the last one for July of Tom Hanks month, and I have it filmed and I have it about halfway edited, but I just I just couldn't be bothered. I couldn't get myself into it. I did some yesterday morning and that was great, and then I just didn't want to. I haven't really been making any time for myself, and so I've been taking it and neglecting other things, and then I feel really guilty about it. So this is kind of everything that is going to be changing. So the last Tom Hanks video is going to be out next Wednesday, and then I'm just going to start doing 2 movie reactions a month instead of one every single week, because it's about 10 hours of editing, and that on top of all like the writing and planning I have to do, and 2 jobs, and sometimes babysitting. Sometimes babysitting is really easy, she sleeps the whole time, and sometimes it's not and she needs attention the whole time. And so like with all of that, and then trying to like meet my goals for this month, like it just became too much for me. And so I have not, I mean, my walking every day was about all that I was doing for myself. I wasn't doing any kind of journaling. I'd like to start meditating again, and running. I ran one day this week and I loved it, and like more time for stretching and stuff, just like reading, things that I enjoy doing that I'm just not making the time for, because what I do is I get just kind of like overwhelmed with everything and like a little burned out on my energy, and then I just crash and I like watch movies or TV shows or videos all day, or not all day, but for however long I have, or until I fall asleep, and then I totally regret it because it's not something that's actually helpful for me, and it's taking all this time, and it's just this really big cycle that I've been going through for the last couple of weeks. And so I'm gonna just do 2 movie reactions a month, so I have more days to edit. I can spread out my editing, I can spread out my filming. I don't have to worry about like doing all these things on my days off. Like I can actually partially enjoy my days off. So that's why that's one of the changes, is just 2 a month instead of 4 or 5. And so obviously this, I wasn't planning on putting the last Tom Hanks movie next month, but that's just how it's going to work out. And then I'm going to be focusing more on myself. So I know I had my July goals, and walking went fantastic. I walked every single day. Some days it was like only 12 minutes, but I did that like 4 or 5 times. But I walked, I would have an hour in between shifts, and I would walk. So I made it happen. I did write a lot. I missed one poem last week, and then I didn't get any in this week, but I wrote a lot, and I really love a lot of what I've written and where I got my inspiration. And so it just kind of like really opened that up, like taking a word that I hear in a song or just a random thought that I have on a walk, and like not listening to music or a book when I'm on my walk, and just kind of keeping myself open to what comes. Like I got a lot of my ideas from that, just being outside, or just being like, and not being like distracted by things. So like sometimes I would like remember a line from a song. A lot of times it'd be when I was walking and I'd have a song stuck in my head, and then like a word would all of a sudden stand out. So like that was a really cool where I got some of my poem inspirations from. And I'm really glad that that happened. And I definitely also am going to keep writing, but it just really was like a good reminder to just be open. and sometimes just kind of let my brain be, instead of like, oh, if I'm gonna go on a walk, I'm gonna listen to a book, or I'm gonna listen to this music, and like, just kind of like let it be and let whatever thoughts just like flow through sometimes, instead of keeping it entertained all the time, like letting it entertain itself. Sounds like a toddler, but that's what it was like. So that was really cool. I definitely did not hardly ever took Edgar out, so I like kind of failed on that goal, but that is something I do want to keep working on. So for the next month, and probably the next couple of months, actually, what I'm going to be a bit more focused on is just having some time for myself in the morning and having some time for myself in the evening, like especially with walking or running and doing yoga. I want to have like 2-3 hours in the morning so I can give myself a long time to do that, and then like an hour and a half at night, so I can like read as long as I want to, or like stretch, because sometimes I just want to stretch for like 20 minutes. So just giving myself that time to do those things. There definitely won't be any kind of like consistent schedule, because there's some days I work until midnight, and then there's some days I work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So there's not really going to be any kind of consistency to it, but I'm okay with that. And I need to remember that I'm okay with that. Like maybe one day I will get up at 6, and maybe one day I won't get up till 9, and that's okay. Like I can shorten things, or I can lengthen things, or I can do whatever and be flexible, as long as I'm making sure I take a couple hours every day to do something, deliberately do something that I enjoy, and not just like distract myself from my life, but actually just really try to take care of me and things that help my mental, physical, and emotional health. So I'm not like really in a bad place or anything like that, but I can just already know I'm kind of going downhill. And just the amount of times that like I feel overwhelmed and stuff, I just need to have that. So those are the things that I am changing, because as much as I really do love editing the video. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's such a big time commitment, I don't really want to do it, but then when I start doing it, like I love it, and I don't want to stop. And that's why sometimes it's like, okay, I'll go to bed at midnight, and then it's like 2:30, and then I finally stop. So I do really enjoy it, but it's just become a little bit too much at times for me to handle, because there are those days where I don't want to, and then everything just kind of piles up from there, and everything gets further and further behind, or I distract myself for even longer. And so yeah, I just need to get on top of this before it gets worse, and make sure that like I'm in a good place, so that way all of my work can continue to be in a good place. So I think that's it. I think that covered everything. That was definitely quite a bit rambly, but just working on some changes, focusing on me, and yeah, we'll see what comes from that. But I'm not necessarily gonna have any like monthly goals, at least for August, probably for September also, because it is really gonna be working on kind of like a morning, evening routine. And I say that with quotation marks, because like I was saying, it could kind of vary. It's going to vary kind of by day, and what that looks like. There's not gonna be like a set schedule per se, just making sure I have a couple of hours to do things that I enjoy doing, and that just kind of, relax me or de-stress, or, whatever, keep me in a good space. So that's what I am working on. So yeah, I don't remember how to end these. I'm just gonna say bye. Hope you have a good night. Hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you guys next Friday. And these will continue every Friday. That's not going to change, because these don't take up nearly as much time. So I will see you guys next Friday.